Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. In today's video we're gonna solve a LeetCode problem. It's called length of the last word. Length of the last word, it's number 58. So basically we will get a string here, a string will be the input, and we should return a number, okay? So hello world, return a number 5. So what is number 5? Surprise, surprise, it is the length of the last word. So world is the last word here, okay? Fly me to the moon is the string. Moon. How many letters does moon have? How many letters does the word moon have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So the solution is 4. Example 3. Luffy is still Joy Boy. Joy Boy is, it has 6 letters, so the solution is 6. So it's an easy problem. Length of last word available on LeetCode. How can we solve this problem? Okay. So let's talk to a friend, okay? So basically, like, forget about programmatically. Let's try to solve this intuitively first, okay? So here, there are words, okay? Yeah, okay, yeah. Talking to a friend, like, intuitively, try to solve it. And the last word is world. Yeah, exactly. How many letters does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5, okay? So this is the solution. Not programming, just talking to friends, like, sitting, talking to your friends. How are we going to solve this problem? Manually or by eye, just by looking. Fly me to the moon, okay? Where is the last word? The last word is moon. How many letters does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the solution is 4. Length of the last word, okay? Last example, Joy Boy. Before we get into programming, what is the last word? Joy Boy. How many letters does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So 6 is the solution. Alright. So let's try to find this. How we're gonna do this programmatically, okay? So I prepared this. So first of all, we're gonna get the words. We're gonna get the words. So we have here the words. Hello world. This is a word. This is a word. Second, we're gonna get the last word. So the last word here is world. And finally, we are going to return the length of the last word. Alright, so let's try to follow that script, right? Okay. Constant words array equals s dot split. And what is a split? Split is a function in JavaScript that enables us to split a string by a specific character. And then we say here console.log. Let's see what happens. Let's see what this split does. Console.log words array, and let's try to run the code on the examples. Let's try to run the code. Okay. What? Okay, as we can see here, the code ran. Hello world, that is exactly what we expected. Hello is a word. Hello is a word. World is a word. That is correct. Fly me to the moon. Fly me to the moon. Okay, this is an edge case. We will talk about it. Luffy is still Joy Boy. That is exactly what we expected. But let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Okay. Fly me to the moon. Alright. That's an edge case. So what is the last word here? The last word is empty string, and this is also an empty string, and this is also an empty string. Why is that? Because it has empty strings at the beginning and empty strings at the end, and it has more than extra spaces. It has white spaces. Okay, so how can we solve this? Well, for that, for just this, maybe we don't care about this extra spaces in the middle, but we care about the extra spaces at the edge, at the end. So we are going to use a function called .trim. Trim does what? Trim removes the spaces at the beginning and the spaces at the end. So the string will look like this now. It will look like this, okay? It will look like this. It will be like this, okay, when we trim it. Now let's return it back to its original state, and we kept the spaces as they were. Okay, now let's run the code and see how the words will look like. Okay, as we can see here, after we trimmed the words, it now looks like this. Fly me to the moon, exactly as we expected, and this was removed from the edges. It's still here, but when we trimmed, it was removed from the edges. So so trim removes things, removes the spaces in a string from the edges. Okay, so we got the words exactly. Now we need the last word. Okay, so we say here constant last word equals words array that has the index of words array dot length -1. And now let's try to log here last word. Let's try to give it a shot. All right, world. Yep, exactly, world. Moon. Yep, exactly, moon. And joy boy. Yes, that's correct. Okay, now what we need to do is that we need to return the length of the last word. Remember, the problem is called the length of the last word. So what we did 3 steps. We got the words, we got the last words, and we return. Now we will return last word dot length. And now, okay, now let's try to run this code on LeetCode. Let's try to run this code here. Where is the run button? Yeah, the run button is here. And as we can see here, we passed all the test cases. Now when we try to submit this code, let's see how this plays out. This is an easy problem on LeetCode. As we can see here, it was accepted. We passed all the 60 of the 60 test cases. Okay, so now last thing to talk about here in this easy problem is the time complexity and space complexity. Okay, so in terms of n, this will be an important question in the exam, in the interview, to be able to estimate the time and space complexity. So time complexity of this problem is order of magnitude of n. First of all, n is the length of this string, the length. So if this string has 5 characters, this means that it will be linear. Okay, to solve this problem, time complexity is linear. It's not exactly n, it could be 2n, 5n, but we summarize it to n because it's linear. It's not square time complexity. Okay, why is that? Because we took s and we did some operations on it. We did operations on the last word, so that's why time complexity is n, and it's not anything like n squared or anything. Space complexity is also order of magnitude of n because we created a variable called words array and we also got the last word, so the space complexity is n. So this is a good solution. I hope you found this video to be helpful. Thanks a lot. Assalamu alaikum.